So the A's go about and they become the great team they were from 88 to 92, 93, all the way up to the strike season. They were still competitive. Those years, what were those like for you as a fan? Because it is obviously easier to like a team that shows greatness. And how did you think that affected your relationship to baseball and then our relationship to each other as we began to appreciate what was a great run for the A's?
Well, you still, still around here, the team to appreciate is the Giants. He's never seemed to, except when they really got hot, never seemed to attract real loyalty. And I don't know why that is. I would enjoy going to the game with you, but there wasn't that many people I enjoyed going to the game with.
Mm. And why did you enjoy going the game with me?
Because you have such enthusiasm for it.
Yeah.
It meant something to you.
Yeah.
And you'd be. I'd like to share that with somebody, but you got to have some basic interest in order to have something to share.
That's right. That's right. So you identified that, and again, as a father, which I know now, having kids, you're constantly looking for links with your child, especially as they grow, to say, how can we connect? Because as they grow, children necessarily need you less, and you're looking for ways to relate, right?
Yeah.
So you decide, and I've documented this, but we can just quickly touch on it, that you decide, reading Dodger Dogs to Fenway Franks, that this is an adventure that you and I want to take, right?
I thought you'd be interested, yes.
Do you remember pitching it to me and my response? Because I don't remember that actual call or how that went. This was before email, so.
It must have been you were at San Diego State.
Yeah. We went on our first trip, and I don't know if it was part of me getting the job, but the summer before I began writing sports at the Aztec down there for the daily paper for San Diego State. And I knew what a big deal that was to me because I was at school to be a sports journalist. ESPN was where I thought I'd go. And but writing at the time, newspapers were still a very big deal. I was very happy to do that as well. So this was a tremendously exciting thing you were offering me, not just personally, but you validated my dreams in a way to not only take an interest of mine and say this is something that we should do together, but it's something you could possibly look at as doing as a professional. And I don't know if you looked at it that way, but it was a tremendous gift.
I didn't, but it seemed like a good idea from the start. Had all the elements.
One of my favorite conversations of many that I remember on the road, though, was just talking to you about life and saying that I felt at that time, I said, as we're driving around, I said, this is what life is about, is, working hard enough so that you can have the opportunity to spend the money and the time doing things like what we're doing right now in the car together.
Yeah, something that was very strong sexually with me was the smell of barbecue at the Milwaukee game. I never experienced anything like that since or before.
Yeah,
it was just a gravel parking lot and a chicken wire fence and a lot of beer and a lot of brats.
The stadium was falling apart. It was near the end of its life. But I think that hit us both because the nostalgia and the smell and the history was baked in. And that's something we didn't experience in the Coliseum. That's a very different thing. As we started to go, again, seeing Wrigley like that, seeing Tiger Stadium, wow, we got to see it before it went away. Old Comiskey, we got to see before it went away. All four of those parks are gone.
And more.
Yeah. So we did that the next year. Then we went again. This time we went to Philadelphia. We went to Yankee Stadium, old Yankee, as it were, and we went to Fenway.
Hardest ticket to get was a Red Sox, and a friend of mine was a portfolio manager, and he had his office in Boston, and we had to swing by his office to pick up the tickets. It all seemed to go pretty smooth, and we didn't get there until I think it was the second or third inning. That was a screwed up trip from the start. We almost didn't get out of San Francisco. They postponed our flight for some reason.
That's right.
And it was only going to postpone it so much before we couldn't make it to the game.
Do you remember the conversation about when we'd go next or why we didn't go in 1993?
No, I don't.
I think, well, I may have been, actually, I was in Hawaii. I take that back. I was on the cruise ship at the time, so we couldn't have gone.
I think I would. I can understand your choice.
Well, and then 94 was the strike. And I remember that very strongly. And that was kind of the end of baseball for a little while for me.
Hey, cooled off.
Because that was the end of that A's run, too. That team we loved so much was dismantled after that.
Yeah.